go into equipment and replacing the equipment, and part of it also needs to go into replacing or keeping the people that are going to maintain that equipment.
And the cell phone thing, is the battle pretty much settled on changing that, or there's always somebody that says it's not fair for that?
I think that there has to be something in the legislature that once a bill comes up and gets defeated, it automatically gets introduced the next couple of years, even though the people who initially supported it aren't there. There's something there because the bill does show up every year but never makes it out of committee. There's never any discussion, and I don't see us being in any danger anytime soon of seeing any huge revenue reductions. Kanawha County is looking at raising their 911 fee, and when they raise their 911 fee, they're going to raise that 911 fee higher than ours. Well, if they do that, that's fine, but they have seen a significant decrease in people removing their cell phones from their home. Now, we know that it happens, but we also know that the cell phone coverage in this county is that only 15, maybe 20% of the people in this county could ever rely on a cell phone and not rely on a home phone until our coverage increases. So it's kind of an oxymoron. As the cell phone coverage increases, well, we get excited because we can use cell phones throughout the whole county. But we'll start to see some kind of revenue reduction at some point in time. But where families have one phone in their home, they're replacing it with two phones. And I'm sure that, I know in Judy's house, she's got a phone, her husband's got a phone, both of her kids have got a phone. Well, most people that have them in their home, well, they've only got one phone. So yeah, we lose one over here, but we pick up four on the other end. So there's a point where there's going to be a reduction in the revenue on the landline. But we started collecting somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000 or $20,000 a quarter is what we were getting out of that cell phone legislation. Now we're getting somewhere in the neighborhood of $120,000 a quarter. So we've seen the shift, but we've not seen what has happened in Kanawha County, and probably never will, because we will never have a cell phone site on every other building going down the street like they do.
Well, I think that's what I like to hear. Is that I'm sure you wouldn't oppose it if you didn't feel comfortable with it. 10 years from now, we still will be solid as far as funding, as far as the cell phone fund things.
I think we'll be solid funding for as long as you and I are here.
Yeah, it might be a long time.
Sometimes I feel like I'm older than I should be, but I feel comfortable where we're at, and we just need to make sure that we're able to maintain equipment and maintain what we're doing.
We'll try to have something on the agenda the 16th
All right.
to address this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience that would like to speak at this time?
Have the folks who have to started yet with the heating and cooling project? You know?
No, but I did talk to,
Region 2 keeps asking about that.
he called and said that he definitely was having some of the equipment delivered, and that they were supposed to be here one day this week.
That was on my list too.
Well, I know they're behind. Maybe they can, once they start, maybe they'll be able to go fast, but, okay. Well,
I wish
I'll
they'd
keep
hurry
check-
up.
I'll keep checking with them.
I wish they'd hurry up because we keep having problems with our heating and cooling. Yesterday it was so cold in here, and then today it was so hot, so. Anyone else? Commission concerns?
Only thing else I have on the commission concerns is I had said I'd try to follow up on the request of the needs that Mr. Brumfield had for circuit clerk. In working with the family court judge this week, I did meet and talk with him and ask him to look into it, give us his opinion, what he might be able to do or help us, because they've had some help here, and he's actually got the promise of having another person to come in and work in his office to help relieve some of the duties upstairs. But he did tell me that he felt like it was his observations and what, from his point of view anyway, that there was a great caseload But he was more concerned about down the road, it's gonna get even more, as far as need and expense, and, he wanted us to know that as a commission, that, the law's fixing to change. I think he said it was on second reading or something, I guess, to be adopted, that was going to require us to have, more timely, serving of papers, and if that doesn't happen, then it's gonna be, required to send certification by mail, which will cost us as a county more money. And also that there's maybe at the third level requirement that will be in patio like this, a charge that you have to put a notice in the paper of each of these cases as a, or be a legal ad or whatever. He said it would run a significant amount of money. He just said, might as well let you get ready. I mean, it's coming, he said. So anyway, I asked him about if he had any specific recommendations, whatever, too, and he really doesn't have much. He just said he wants, wants to help where he can and do what he can. But I asked him if it would be possible, maybe one of these programs that's like through Southwestern Community Action, where it's 55 and older, they'll give you a person to work for you for at least a year and a half, 18 months. And he thought something like that would really help. You could take somebody that would address the traffic that flows in and out, where people wouldn't be taken off of task and do their job. So he thought that would be something that would be beneficial, and I'll report that to you, and I'll report that to Mr. Brumfield tomorrow. That something to look at. And I asked him if it would, one of the requests that Mr. Brumfield had was that maybe a part-time or some minimum help, and he thought that would be a way to start. So at the next meeting, hopefully we may have something to talk about along that line, but I'll keep you posted on it. Hearing nothing else, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion second, we stand adjourned December 16th at 10, and December 16th at 12 will be the Christmas dinner.